routine every week, but okay.
You should tell the porter.
I did, believe me, you don't think he knows?
That's why I carry both. You have a safer? You got one? Or?
No, I don't.
No.
This one.
There's one of those here and one
Right
here.
here.
Well, that's tomorrow the rest of the week.
Yeah, you got your pot of
We used to do one of these, right? We used to do behind.
The union holiday. You're getting prepared for Thanksgiving, union holiday. Right. Yeah. We'll take these back. Yeah, you know, it's gonna fit. I might as well leave it. All right, we'll send it out, yeah. People really run.
I think we should try to raise money for the people that come and speak English and Hebrew. They'll get the machine. I don't know how expensive it is.
I don't know anything about
Talk. First screen, right, in other words,
Jay, what time is Shawnee sitting till today?
maybe that's how they do it even like.
it. I would say kind of like 11:30ish type of
All right,
thing.
do we have time to go to the funeral?
Funeral? No, funeral was Sunday.
No, I'm talking about the one this morning.
Oh, you two going
I've
for it?
seen it.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
If, I'll let Johnny know. You want me to tell you you're going to the Levaya?
No, I wanna,
No, don't worry. I'm saying there's a
so
Levaya.
what we'll do is we'll go there for an hour and then we'll come to you.
Yeah, I don't know what the situation is, but I'll find out.
It's a shame because,
Tell me if it's any earlier than 11:30, how's that?
I mean, we all
What's that?
get the
Okay.
gist of what
Okay.
he's saying, but why not?
Okay, you got it. Thank you.
You don't know? What? Funeral's 9:30 this morning, go over.
We even have to send a message. We even have to send a message.
How was what? Thank God in this field. So. Also short.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, so.
I have no idea.
Wow. From the double here. Go on camera. Go on camera. Go right. Sit right and see for 1 minute. Just for 1 minute, just to say hello. I think there's a lot of people.
I didn't get to Makaros, I only got to be on Bar Kessel.
I sent.
I-
What do you mean?
I saw you sent
No. I sent a shame, but I didn't see.
I so
I
learned.
didn't see them. You know what? I'm
I-
messed up. I gotta be honest with you, I'm very messed up with the new one. There's all kinds of things. Like got a message. It doesn't go to the top. I can't find it. And I said, you know, I'm under pressure.
Just tell them that's your mom's still here. Amazing.
I'm like a fossil.
Very
That's
nice.
one plug
At this point, if someone
That's right.
No, we came back.
Once you're married, shit, yeah, like I was done. I
Yeah,
was
Pati, you don't have what do you have?
fake Raviata.
You had the ultimate.
Fake Raviata, and that was it.
Yeah, but that's fine.
You weren't sure.
No,
Are
it's
there,
not. It's like
are there any sheets or anything, or
We can send it out. It'll go to the right track.
a letter my phone? Am I allowed to my phone?
She specifically like the moment it's over. Right, exactly. Something to like.
Yeah.
That's when we realize it right at the time. When the person first told us.
Rebbe probably knows.
Sure.
I'm saying
And it's like,
okay,
oh, and then we're like,
We'll still walk around though.
I mean. But it's a weird, and
What's
I'm
wrong?
not birthday.
No, you got it. It'd be too real.
She really wants it.
Girls don't do that. It's too real.
But we said to her,
That's how you get over it.
It's if you reserve seats for like
Reason why it's so high?
at a time.
Sorry.
oh, okay, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Thank you. That's beautiful.
See you later.
What's that?
Thank again the partners of the month, the Hirschkuch family, Leila Nishmas, Leah Sarah Zev, Shom Shav Nelia, and Function of Simchanach. We have to have a little bit of a shorter shir this morning. Have to be a little high to get to. On page Kuf Beis. Trying to understand the meaning of chayfish, that means chayfish. And Mimela, we can understand also the sugya of Nisyanis that we've been talking about. So let's begin page Kuf Beis. Al ken yesh ladas. Ki hachofesh ha'amiti nimtza b'Torah b'chayei kedusha. Even though, as we've been learning, when a person looks in a very simple and shallow way at a life of kedusha, he feels that it's the most restrictive life imaginable. And many of us grew up hearing low. You can't. And many of the children are growing up feeling that all of Yiddishkeit is about taking away their freedom. The kid wants to sleep. He's got to get up and go to school, to go to daven, to go to school. The kid wants to be able to watch something on the phone, on the computer, on the television, wants to be able to see something, and Kedusha says, no, low. Looks like something, it would be some food that would be exciting. Well, now they make everything almost, used to be. There's some food that looks like it would be exciting, and the Torah says, no, you can't have this food. So from the beginning of our lives, the feeling that we have is that Torah, Kedusha, Yiddishkeit takes away our chofesh. It takes away our chofesh. And that together with just a regular life of growing up where the parents say you can't stay up so late, you can't play, you can't go to play on the Long Island Expressway or something. So the whole life of the child is a feeling of my chofish is being taken away. When it comes to Yiddishkeit, that way of thinking lingers on and on with many people. And unless one enters into the oimik, into the pnimius of what Yiddishkeit is, one can go one's entire life either without getting rid of the Yiddishkeit because it restricts one's chofish, or struggling through the routine of living an Orthodox life while not really, just waiting for the davening to end, or waiting for Yontif to end, or for Shabbos to end, or to hear that there's no tachnan, there's the sweetest words in the world, no tachnan today. To be free. Because every mitzvah and every tefillah and every little, even a little avodah. I can't believe I had to go from Murder Tal and I have to Mashi Baruch Regesh. It's hard. It's very hard. It's Murder Tal and Mashi Baruch Regesh. So every effort, every single tiny little shtadlus is difficult because there's me and there's that artificial life that has been superimposed upon me by my elders and by my guilt, feelings of guilt, and whatever else is driving me to go on with these things. But it's not me. And because it's not me, I'd rather not do this. And that's why. So if I can come fashionably late to shul and it doesn't cause too much of whatever, so I'm not going to come pink at 8:30 or whatever your shul, whatever, but 8:30 Shabbos, I'm like pinked at 8:30 because this is an imposition. 8:30 davening is an imposition. So if I can get away with coming, like 10 to 9, 5 to 9, and we go upstairs a little bit, and we go here and do there, and it's because it's an imposition. It's an imposition. When there's something that when you're being called upon to do something that you feel is you're there early. You're excited. You're excited because why? Because it's chofesh. This I'm free now from that which is not me. I'm free now to be me. And when it's something which speaks to you, so then you're excited and no one has to drag you out of bed. No one has to pull you. You want to be there. You want to be there. So it's very, very hard to get past that immature, childish beginning of our lives, where Yiddishkeit was in a position. You see that a significant percentage of even from adults really never got past that. That's why we have to have all different incentives to get to shul. It's something that's been making me crazy since we started. You have to find all different, we have to make it like, you have to have somebody, we're going to have to, eventually they have to have somebody like in the lobby, like juggling. Or you're going to have to hire a comedian to tell jokes, to get some pretty lady to be a hostess to welcome everybody, to get the men to come to shul, to find something to do because it has to be an incentive. Remember the whole post-COVID business? Shuls were, and the problem of getting guys back to shul, it's an amazing thing. How to get people back to shul? What about shachris? That's it. That's not an incentive. You have to think of ways to bring. And I had people calling to talk about this organization. How to, to think of ways that we can incentivize davening, and how could we get people to come back to the shuls because they've been away. So how do we get them back to shul? How do you get people back to shul? Think about it. But we understand. There's a law. There's a law on me. It's not me. So all the years I went to shul for somebody else or whatever I had to do. And now I've been free. I tasted a little bit of freedom. I'm enjoying the freedom. So I don't want to go back to shul. Maybe, I'll continue on with some sort of one of these little silly tent cities, these tent davenings and so on, to continue on. I hope that by now that's all gone. I can't imagine that there's anything that's still going on with that, but it was lingering for a long time. I remember it didn't stop. It shouldn't. Didn't stop after COVID. There was still tents going on. Why would adults not want to come back to shul? Because they had their chofesh, and they didn't want the chofesh to end. It was chofshi. So that's what the Mechaber is explaining. Ken yesh ladas ki hachofesh amiti nimsa b'torah v'chaya kedusha. Until a person begins to understand in a real way that the only place you can find chofesh, true chofesh, is in the life of kedusha. I had a very, very wonderful conversation with a bacher the other day. A very sweet boy, a beautiful boy, and he's a Balkishan. His rebbeim say that he's good. He knows how to learn, and it's time for him to go on to high school. So his parents would like him to go to a yeshiva that's challenging, that's strong. He has a couple of his friends that are going to a yeshiva that's known as being more, like easy A, right? Easy Aleph. And he wants to go to that. He wants to go to that yeshiva. Life would be easier. So, to his credit, he agreed to come talk to me. His parents asked if he would come, and I spoke to him. Very, very sweet. And I asked him if he likes. I said, "Do you like sports?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "What do you like?" He says, "So let's say." He said, "He said this, but I don't want to give away who it might be on the house." But he said football. So I said, "Good, you like football?" He said, "No, he loves football." "And you're a good place?" "Yeah." So I said, "So let's say there are two teams in town, and there's Team A and there's Team B. Now, Team A, the workouts are grueling, are tough. The coach is very strong, and you might not even be the top 5 guys on the team. You might be the lower part of the team. That's Team A. Team B, you probably would be like the number 1 guy. They don't have as many workouts, and the workouts are not so long and not so tough, but it's fun. You have geschmack, you play ball. Which team would you rather be on?" So he said, "I'd rather be on Team A." I said, "Why would you want to do that? That's hard. Team B is easy. Why would you want to be on Team A?" So he said that it's more geschmack. Team A, you could. So I said, it's the same thing with Yiddishkeit. It's the same thing with Yiddishkeit. You could make a choice to go to Team A or to Team B. They're both nice. Everything is good in both places. It's wonderful. But even though maybe in Team A you're going to be not the top all-star, you'll be a little bit, but it's still more choshev. Why? Because your coaches and the people who work with you feel that you have the ability to be on Team A. And you can do that. And they'll be more satisfying to you. It'll be more exciting for you, more satisfying to you, even though it might be that you're not the number 1 guy, but it's more exciting, more satisfying, even though you have to work much harder. The satisfaction is deep, it's real. Why? Because you see yourself as be'etzem being a Team A guy. Now, in Yiddishkeit, unless you see yourself as being a Team A person, as being a person that belongs to the world of Kedusha, and that's your world and that's who you are, the natural instinct of a person is not to work hard. Not to work hard. I had this guy once, this goes back some years, he said to me, people feel sometimes they need to explain why they don't come to Eishkot. I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. I don't know. I just try to be, "Hi, how you doing?" But this person says to me, this is what he said to me. He said, "I really, really would like to come Friday night to Kodesh. It's like I have a hard week. It's hard. It's very tired. I'm very tired. So, it's easy for me to go to another shul. I'm tired. It's like, in other words, Eish Kodesh is a little bit longer and it's too much work. Friday night, you gotta just feel like you gotta join in or something, or move your feet maybe, and it's demanding. It's demanding. The other place I go to, mean, he didn't say all that, the Perushim, I'm just in. He said this funny thing like it, I'm very, very tired at the end of the week. It's hard. I really should push myself. And he said, enjoy your davening wherever you are. He said, I really should push myself, but I'm tired. I'm tired. Now, for the other person, for the Chaver, when I look around, I see tired Jews. I see people who just barely made it, especially these Shabbos. A lot of guys work at home now, but people barely made it to the shower, to mikveh, whatever, to get to shul. And they're tired just like this guy. But their whole chiyus is to come and to sing l'chadaydi. That's the looking forward to the whole week. The whole chiyus is to come. Now I'm free of work and the boss and the train, and I'm free from Manhattan, and I'm free, and I can be myself. And who's myself? That's who I am. That's the chiluk between the two people. That's the A team and the B team. I'm not saying that everybody. I'm just saying that feeling that a person has, that this is, you're adding to my tzaras. I had enough problems with my boss during the week. Now I have more tzaras. Now I have a shoma b'zocha. And this guy is singing. If he's singing in the second round or something, I got enough problems. I need to rest. I need to rest. It's Shabbos. I have to rest. It's who you are, and it's a scary thing because you have to ask yourself a serious question. It's a very serious question. But yesh das ki hachofesh amiti nimtza b'torah b'chaya kedusha. The chofesh amiti for a Jew, because a Jew carries inside of it a nefesh elokam chelik elokam yimal nefesh elokis. A Jew carries a l'chadaydi inside of himself. The essence of a Jew is l'chadaydi. When you cut a Jew open, it's l'chadaydi inside. That's the essence of a Jew. It's not his, 8:30 shlifen time, sleep. 8:30 going to sleep. Inside of a Jew, there's l'chadaydi. And when you're able to come into contact with that l'chadaydi, that's the essence of who you are. But to get to that, how do you get to that place? How do you get to that place where you can identify with l'chadaydi? With the l'chadaydi is you. It's not something that's just thrown on me that I have to deal with. But you see that this is what the kids are struggling with. This is what the kids are struggling with. The adults as well. But from the beginning, this is especially the boys because they have a tremendous ol. The girls, it's a lighter ol because they don't have the whole Gemara in there. But with the boys, it's a very, very heavy ol. And if a kid feels that this is not me, what am I sitting in front of this book for hours and hours a day? It's not me. I was talking about over here. It's not me. It's not talking to me. It's not speaking to me. This is not me. Hopefully, at some point, he matures. He goes up and he begins to and he begins to get excited over the Black Gemara. He feels, this is amazing. This is amazing. This is me. But that takes effort, and that's what he says. El Shabbatchila, that we were talking a little bit about at the beginning last week. El Shabbatchila tzarich adam lavar maslul aroch. The problem is that with rare exceptions, there are some kids that from the beginning they're on fire. There are kids like that. They in the Shomas came down in such a way that it didn't make so many stops in other Olamas that came down in such a way that this kid is like from the beginning. There are children that are like that. They come, very, very few, but there are some kids that are like that. That they come into the world already on fire. They say when the Avnei Nezer was an infant that he was nursing for his mother, they say when he was being nursed, he would, as a little baby, it's mamish as a baby, he would turn his eyes away from where he was being nursed and he would say a shahakal as a baby. You can imagine a little Avnei Nezer like that. That's something that's different. That's just different. That doesn't happen in a regular situation. A little Avnei Nezer, it doesn't happen. Every now and then there's someone that comes, a child that comes to the world like that. But mostly, there's a long path. A long path. Where he has to fight against the demons inside of him. He has to fight against his instincts. And even the little kid, from the time he begins to understand that it's not nice to push away everybody else to get to the front of the line. You know, they're giving out some candy over here. It's not nice to knock everybody out and over. So you should be the first one. And from the beginning, the kid feels, I want that candy, and that person got the candy. There's some little people in between me and the candy, and I have to get rid of them and get to the candy. So that's one of the earliest lessons that the kid has. That doesn't always go like that. And he has to say no. And he has to wait. And to wait online like everybody else, to wait. Right? You have people that never outgrow that. They'll just cut in front of everybody with a car. They'll cut in front of everybody by a line. Especially if it's like a really, really rich guy. Gives a little here, gives a little there, goes in front. They never outgrew that. Giving in to what they want. It has to be the way that I want. Those are the ones that, 3 minutes after they call you, they call another 4 times and they leave you a question mark. You know what I'm talking about? That's this type of a personality. You didn't answer me? I had yesterday somebody. I saw they called, somebody called and it said on it, like 550. It said 550. Then I got a call from one of my kids that this person's been trying to reach me. They called my kid, one of my kids, to say, I'm trying to reach your father. I'm having a hard time. I said, I just saw this. It was like 3 minutes ago. You're having a hard time reaching me? Strong. I want it now. I want what I want, and I want it now. So Hashem has all different kinds of ways of taking care of and putting them through that maslul, that path, putting them on that path, which is hard. Where you want something, you have to be mishabed your ritzonos. Sometimes these are, as the kid gets a little bit older, it's not about getting candy, it's about getting a little girlfriend, or getting some taiva, something else. So then the ritzonos are not so innocent. It's not just for a piece of candy. So they become a little bit scarier. The ritzonos become a little bit more mature. But he hasn't matured. He has to be put through this time of being able to say no. That's why I once mentioned the Hashem Berach is Avram Bakol, that Avram was gebenched with everything. What's it mean Bakol? So one of the tzaddikim, I don't know who said it because I heard this from somebody who, it's the whole mice that's involved with it, with the Ribnitzer. But Bakol, it says in one of the Svarim, Bakoach Kain Lo. If you're able to know when to say yes and when to say no, you have everything. Because you're in control of yourself. Hashem Berach is Avram Bakol. Avram Avinu was a person. Can you imagine? Avram Avinu was the Amud of Chesed. He was the Midah of Chesed. Avram Avinu was Ahava. But Avram Avinu knew when to say, "Lo, no, no." Bakol is Bakoach Kain Lo. You have the ability to know when to say yes and when to say no. That's hard. V'yishtalet aleim, to rule over yourself, to begin to rule over those darker impulses, even if they're not so, even if it's a piece of candy. But the child from the beginning has to learn how, mommy's busy right now. You have to wait a second. I'm sorry. Right? Mommy's busy right now. I'll get to you in a second. And the kid's screaming and crying. And from the beginning, the child has to begin lishlot, to learn how lishlot al atzmo. You want something. Wait. Look. And if for the child to begin to hear the word no, which now is becoming much less a part of the parents' vocabulary, they'll be very careful. If I don't give the kid the candy, he's going to go off the derech or something. The kid's only a year old. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look to me like he's so into Kriya Malamita or something. I better say yes. Because everybody's afraid to say no. My child's not going to be able to hear the word no. Look what's going on now. I always like to point out, because they're living such interesting times. All these, the ones that lost the election, they can't make a cheshbon nefesh. They can't accept like these are supposed to be. They're supposed to be like, these were supposed to be the leaders of America. I wouldn't put them in the GO in school. In other words, the Welt told you, America told you, sorry, Chavre, you lost. They can't, it's like a whole meltdown. What's going on? They can't deal with it. So there has to be an undercomer and has to be all this. Children. Not even children. The children must be looking at them to let go, give up. You lost. What's the matter with you? Children. No. Not able to control themselves. You have some guy, I got this whole, I don't even know who this person is, but some guy that Trump nominated, turns out he's a big mushkas, he's a big maneuver. And then he took himself out, or they told me, you better not, I don't know the guy's name, but it's not important to say. But he took himself out. So you have to ask yourself a kasha, why would you let yourself, why would you go in? No? What do you think? What do you think was going to happen?
He owed them a favor.
I know that, I heard this story. I'm not asking why Trump, you can't ever ask any kashas why Trump. There's no question why Trump. But I'm not asking why Trump did it. Why Trump? Trump did that to get back at his. He's the biggest baby of them all. So why Trump asked him? Because Trump wants to go after his enemies, right? But this guy, forget about Trump. Why Trump? We know why Trump did that. But why did the guy accept? You out of your mind? What do you think was going to happen? See, he wanted to get out that they shouldn't get in trouble. And now the whole world's talking about it. These big mushkas. It would have been why did you do that? They can't stop themselves. It's an amazing thing. They can't stop themselves. But there's such a thing that a person's you're supposed to lead. You want to be a leader in the country. You want to be somebody that's going to be in control of thousands of people and billions of dollars. You can't even control the most disgusting little taiva. You can't take control of yourself. You can't control even the most disgusting taiva you're not in control of. And you're going to be now in charge of the whole country. You're going to be my balabas. You can't take care of anything. You can't control anything. Are you able to control other people? You can't control yourself at all. So this is how Hashem raises us to go through this muscle. And only when you deny yourself and you say no to those things that are pulling you in a direction that's not right for you, that's not good for you, only then do you begin to discover atzmiyusa. Then you begin to see who you really are, your atzmiyus. You see some things that make you feel a little bit bad because it's not always so pretty, the picture that you get, but you're getting a clear picture of yourself through your nisyanis, through the challenges of growing up and self-discipline and self-control. You begin to find out who you are. There's some good things, there's some bad things. The good things you try to develop, and the bad things you try to be in control of, and to slowly eliminate more and more, to eliminate those less attractive parts of yourself. You try to be in control of. You might never be completely in control, but you do your best to take control of it. But one thing is for sure, you begin to find your atzmius. You begin to find the atzmius of who you are. We were learning that this morning, Chassidus. That's what you begin to see. The atzmius. Davka through the times of katnas. That's what we're learning about. In the Bayom Dakacha. Davka through the katnas. And going through a time of katnas. When you're feeling weak and you want to give in to certain things. And you mechazik yourself. That's when you find out the atzmius. V'yavin shahahalicha b'derech ha'torah v'amitzvos hi'amimush ha'atzmi ha'ashir v'amavurach v'yosef. And over time, when you work hard on yourself, and you're a person who knows how to say no, when to say yes, when to say no, bakol, mikol kol, when you're working, a hard-working person, you begin to come more and more and more to that part of Be'etzim who you are, because the silly, shallow external layers have been forced away, have been peeled away, have been blown away in your life. Then you could begin to feel that the sweetest thing in the world is the Chadai. Shabbos, there's nothing that's more beautiful than Shabbos. What could be better than a black Gemara Rashi Taisus? There's nothing more beautiful in the world than a Gemara Rashi Taisus. Hamagshim is ma'avayei ha'adam. Adrabah. Through the Lachadaidi, you're able to be magshim. You're able to actually to bring into reality. You're able to actualize. Ma'avaya Helgam, the longing is the deepest longing is of who you really, really want to be through that. And just the opposite. To the outsider, like we've been talking about, to the outsider, the L'chadaidi is a prison. Sitting in front of the Gemara is torture. But to the insider, that's why we once spoke about from one of the Bali Musa, when it says at the end of the Torah, right? It says that that this is very near to you. Yiddishkeit, there's the Ramban over there, there's Rashi, it's on Tshuva, it's on all of Torah, but it says it's very near to you. And then it goes on to say it's not far away from you. Right? Yiddishkeit is not in heaven. It's not across the ocean that you have to go searching across the ocean. So one of the Bali Musa was talking about this. He said it's a very strange thing to say. This is very near to you. It's not on the other side of the ocean. Like if somebody would say that, you need to go, I'm asking you a favor, can you go pick something up in New Jersey? Now, you live over here, and somebody says, can you go to New Jersey? And I want you to know that New Jersey is not on the other side of the ocean. It's very close to you. So this Baal Musa asked, if something is very close to you, you could say it's not Connecticut, it's New Jersey. Or it's not, you don't have to go to Maryland. You don't go, it's not Mars. Because that's what it says in Torah. The Torah is very near to Yiddishkeit. Lo b'shamayim. It's a big jump, no? If you want to say something is nearby, you would take the nearest, a closer point of reference instead of saying lo b'shamayim. It's not in heaven. It's not across the ocean. It's right here. It's very near to you. So then you say it's very near to you. You don't even have to even cross a bridge. So you don't have to even go to Queens. You don't have to go to Brooklyn. You don't have to go to Staten Island. It's in the neighborhood. Lo b'shamayim? That's a good question. Just in the pshat. So this Baal Musa said the Gevaldige Gevard. I think it was Rabbi Isaac Sher. I'm not sure. I think it is. He said a Gevaldige Gevard. He said that when you are an outsider to Yiddishkeit, when you see yourself and Yiddishkeit as two different things, it just feels like it's b'shamayim. It feels like it's me'ever layam. So the Torah is telling you, this outsider, listen, Avid, kumarayin, come in. Right now, you feel that for you to be able to, let's say, do the Daf Yomi, you feel that's like Shemayim. You feel it's like Me'ever Liyam. Or, let's say, for the women, an example. So you feel that to dress a certain way, that's more tsanua, that the woman feels like, that's... Someone says, you just have to go buy another, like maybe another inch or two, you're all right. Or a little bit, that's Me'ever Liyam. That's B'Shamayim. That's my grandmother. That's my great-grandmother. I can't be like that. I know it's nice. I admire you, but it's Me'ever Liyam, it's B'Shamayim. So the answer to that person, the Torah says, no. You're looking at it from an outsider's perspective. Come inside. When you come inside, you will see, it's so close to you. It's so near to you. And now, so for people like us that we are insiders, we keep Shabbos, we keep mitzvahs, Baruch Hashem. But still, when someone says to you, you could really, you could be a big tzaddik. Not stam. Yeah. So that also sounds like, okay, that's B'Shamayim. That's maybe. You can go an entire lifetime never speaking another word of Lashon Hara. Whoa, it's B'Shamayim, that's Me'ever. We fall into the same thing. And the answer is, it's Karei Lechadav Ma'od. You feel that it's Bashamai because you're not inside. It's always like that. When you're an insider, when you're inside, so then you see it. You're in that world. Then all of that is part of that world, and it's within your reach. But when you see Yiddishkeit as an outsider, just like I mentioned, just like you have people that are not keeping Shabbos, they think that they don't know how we keep Shabbos. How could you go a whole day not on the phone? How could you go a whole day? And all of us know, give me 3 days Yontiv. It's the greatest thing in the world. But they look at us like, how could you do that? And they see this Bashamayim, Me'ev. It's an amazing thing about Yiddishkeit. Because when somebody starts to keep it, talk to Bali Tshuva, when someone starts to keep it, it's like, welcome home. Not only it's not Me'ev, not only it's not Bashamayim, doesn't mean it's easy. But it's Karvelach, Karvelach. It speaks to me. I've never been so happy. But this is hard. Remember, it's hard. Taking a day off, you lose money on it, whatever, it's hard. Oh, but it's good. It's great. Because now you're an insider. When you're inside, it's Karvelach. When you're outside, when you're an outsider, it could be the easiest thing in the world. And it feels like someone's telling you, like, let's say you don't like this person. And the person asks you, do me a favor, there's a package from me in New Jersey, and you don't like this guy. And also you're annoyed and you're busy and you don't like the guy. So then it doesn't feel like that package is in New Jersey. It feels like the package is in Pasadena. The guy says, I'm not asking you to go to Pasadena. I'm asking you to keep Karvelach. I'm asking you to go, I'm just asking you to go to New Jersey. That's all. But the guy feels like you're asking him to go to Pasadena. He doesn't like you. He's got other stuff he's got to do. I remember I got such once at Mishabech, my father, because my mother, so I got my license and I was driving around, the guys were driving, and my mother asked me to pick up something by one of the relatives to go to Brooklyn to get this, and I started to say, and I didn't know my father was listening. I thought he was. So with my mother, I got away. I can get away with stuff. So I said, so my father was in the other room. I didn't know he was there. So I started to. I said, Ma, I'm supposed to get together with the guy, whatever. I start to make like my exit, and I got to go like pick up a gown or something. I don't know, one of these shlichus, and I had to go somewhere because I have a car, I have a license, I'm able to drive. So then I said, oh, my mother just looked disappointed, whatever. My mother went like, okay, all right. And my father comes walking out of the room, and I go, oh. You didn't tell me that, he's here. My father just puts his arm around me, and he says, let's go. He walks me out to the car. That was all. And then when I came home, my father was never a shouting type. He just said, sit down. I said, what was that about? So I said, well, Dad, we made up, we're going to have like some kind of 3-on-3 or something, this was a very big day in my life. Like I didn't do it every single day of my life, but we would have a game, and the guys were counting on me and whatever, and I was all ready to go. My father just said, your mother needs you, you go. Period. Zehu. Soif pasuk. And I don't want to hear you talking like that again. If there's chas v'shalom something that you tell, but don't you say that you have to go play with your friends and your mother asks you to do something. Can you say that nowadays without sending your kid off the derech? But you feel like that is like me'ev l'yam, l'shamayim. Because the guys are waiting in the park. You're all set. You already got your sneakers on. Everything's ready. And you could drive. The guys so then even someone that you love, your mother, if she's asking you something, it's me'ev l'yam, it's b'shamayim. Why? Because who is me? Me is the guy in the court. That's who I am. The guy that's playing ball with my friends. That's me. And now all of a sudden I'm being asked to be like a shikking. You understand? Like a little boy that's being sent by his mother. And that's not me. I'm now a gever, you know. I'm a big guy. I drive a car. I want to my friends to play ball. And all of a sudden, I'm going for mommy to pick up a dress or something like that, some girl thing, and that's not me. So that feels like what? Feels like it's Mabel, yeah. Now it could be that the guys want to go they're not going to the Bronx but to Brooklyn. It could be they want to go play ball someplace that's 2 hours away. And there's some kind of a hush of a game that's going on. That's how it is. It's very, very close to you. You have to make that cheshbon. Think about it. Think about that when you put before you turn on your thing to look at Waze, in your head, the mileage. When it's something that you feel is you, it's close. The mileage is karvelecha davamai. But something you feel is not speaking to you, doesn't make no difference what it says on Waze. It's far, far away. Shemaim and Me'evliyam. The Baruch Shalom screams at the end of the Torah, I'm telling you, try. It's not Me'evliyam, it's not B'Shamayim. I know you feel like it is, but it's not. Become an insider, come in. And when you come in, that takes a lot of hard work. That takes emunah. It takes emunah, it takes hard work. But when you're in, then Yovin Shahalicha B'derech HaTorah VaMitzvahs Ya'amimu Sha'atzmi Ha'asher V'Hamavurch B'Yoseh. Then there's no greater way to find yourself and to be yourself. And then you begin to realize, you know what? This Gemara is Karei L'Ma'od. Shabbos L'Chadaydi Karei L'Ma'od. Yiddishkeit Karei. I used to feel that it was Me'ever L'Yam. I used to feel that it was B'Shamayim. And now I feel what? Karei L'Yam. Mamish. Why? Because now you feel that it's you. You begin to realize that a life of Kedusha, a life of Yiddishkeit is you. It brings you to Mamish, to the greatest chayfish, the greatest mechavim, all kinds of expanses, far away, amazing places. Not just this little piece of learning of Torah, but takes you all the way, to Zvachim, to Menachos. It takes you to all kinds of good places, which until now you thought was the other end of the universe, and now you feel this is mamish, this is me. Ulam, however, kevan shetodas ha'odam harishainis. The problem is it's very hard because from the time we were little kids, like I said before, our first awareness, todas ha'odam harishainis v'habusaris, meaning raw, like when you're unripe. Busaris means unripe. From the time when we were little kids. When you're a little kid, the hachav that you want is only hachav when it comes to the piece of candy. Another piece of this world. You identify having and expansiveness and more is always more of this world. Not more of something like a Gemara, more of a L'chadaydi. It's more candy. And then more candy means more fun, more cars, and more of this and more of that, and more of this world. And that keeps you from ever coming to understanding that the emes and pnimius. What is the erech? What is it that? Who are you? And that there are so many more important things. Like when an adult looks at a kid, the kid's crying over a little candy that he doesn't have. The parents are saying, this is so silly of you, you're so immature, grow up, this is ridiculous. And the kid wants to say the same thing. When this kid's 15 years old and he looks at his parents acting like teenagers, the kid wants to say to his parents, he's not allowed to, but he feels like saying to his parents, what's the matter with you? Grow up. He said to tell his father, you don't have any time to sit and learn a little bit? You don't have enough money, we don't have enough to eat, we don't have a good enough life. You're running around day and night. You don't have any time for your kids, for your grandchildren. You don't have any time to sit and learn, to be a mensch. What's the matter with you? What kind of belt tie are you? The same speech that the father gave the kid because the kid wanted the candy. The father would say, who do you think I'm working for? The kid says, you're working for yourself. He says, no, I'm working for you. He says, I'm fine. It goes on and on and on until you grow up and discover hakaras erka ha'amiti shel adam. What is the true erech of a person? What is the emisdik erech, the value, the true worth? What is it inside of you that's really expensive? that's really worth living your life for. Until that time, until that time when you have it's a path of disciplining yourself and hard work. Until that time, it's very easy to be fooled. And the klipa, the other side, can get hold of you. And lahatos means can cause you to make all different kinds of mistakes. And to keep on running after the candy, whatever the candy is at that time in your life, to keep on running after the candy. You've never really grown up. It's just what's the object of your desire. But benkach or benkach, it's a piece of this world. It's not something higher of who you are. It's not your neshama. It's another piece of this world. So now it's not a piece of candy. It's a piece of real estate. But it's still a piece of this world. It's not the Nefesh Elokis. It's not the Bas Melech, the lost princess. It's another piece. So it's the same thing as the kid, except you matured. You grew up from candy being the main thing to the piece of real estate. And then, but children are very honest about their taivas, but they don't. They'll say, "You think I want to do this? You think I want to work so hard? You think I want to ignore davening and learning? I would love to do that, but I want to be able to, to support this and to support that, to give for this and give for that." They're always all kinds of terutzim. But the bottom line is that only you and Hashem, and maybe your spouse knows whether you're playing a game. Kids are usually onto these things. You can make a big mistake your whole life, and you're already an old person. You turn around and you say, "What did I do? What was my whole life? Candy. How much candy?" And not only that, I also killed a lot of people on the way. Between me and my candy, I killed a lot of people. So it's a different object of desire. It's not a candy. It's something more expensive than a piece of candy. But the bottom line is that the common denominator between the candy and the real estate is that's not your neshama. It's not you. It's a thing. It's a place. It's a piece of something else. But it's not a piece of yourself. So then you wait until you're already 120. You turn around and say, "What did I do?" So until the person reaches that place of self-understanding and awareness, he hasn't tasted what true freedom is. He's convinced that chofesh, the only way to achieve chofesh, to be free, is only if I'm able to get the things in life that I wanted to get, the candy. That will free me. It makes no difference whether you're 10, 20, 50, 80. That's what's going to free me. And the emes is that all of that stuff is really enslaving you. It's just being a Shabbat you. It's being Shabbat you, and it's causing you to miss your whole purpose of existence, and along the way, to hurt a lot of people also, usually. Not always, oftentimes. To hurt a lot of other people, mostly yourself, but other people that get in the way of you getting your piece of candy or a piece of real estate. Many, many people get hurt along the way. And there was never, then they're saying Kaddish and beyond. Get a line for another Gilgal. And try again. It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. Rabbi Nachman told him, no matter what happens, if they offer you, whatever they tell you in Shemayim, you have to go through suffering in the other world. Or you can go back down into the world. Rabbi Nachman said, whatever it is, don't go back into the world. Don't go for another trip. Take whatever you take it. Whatever you have to get, finish. Don't agree to another shot at Dubai or something. just take what you have to take in Shemaim. Say no, I'll stay. Just let's finish up over here. He said, don't go back into the world. The world is so confusing. It's so easy to make a mistake. Because we still Rabbi Nachman's talking about nothing. So, but it's such a scary business. Rabbi Shabalachtik in Shabbos, we should make good choices.